Hey, Kajari here. Welcome to this quick video. This week we're talking about cravings and emotional eating and what this is about when it comes to losing weight on your 40 and keep it off the weight, right? The most thing that I get told from ladies is that I cannot lose weight because I have all these cravings. I'm emotional eating, and that's my problem. I'm addicted to food. Well, needless to say that most of these issues do not come from a psychological issue. It's not because you have something addiction or something like that. It's more so that you do not understand how physiology works when it comes to hormonal imbalance, when it comes to insulin, cortisol, and regulating the blood sugar, right? This is basically what happens. And it's not something that you are, an addicted person or whatever. Not. It's more so understanding this little diagram behind my big head here. Insulin spikes, stress, stress hormone cortisol, which is it would basically rise your blood sugar. This is why sometimes I get told I cannot, I can avoid eating. I can do intermittent fasting for almost a day, and then as soon as I start eating, then I get cravings and I eat more and more and more. When cortisol rises, it goes up, and then when you eat, you can stay up for a while, and then when you're not hungry, right? When you eat, insulin, as you see on the other side, spikes up, right? And then cortisol goes down. So insulin goes up, cortisol goes down, and this is why, as you see here, when energy and the mood rises, right, then sugar decreases again, and then you get hungry again, and then you do all this cycle. So it's not really about something that you are, it's more about what these cravings are creating. And I saw we could spend another whole video of an hour long talking about what are the scenarios. It could be because you're not eating, because you're skipping breakfast, because overall you're not eating enough. It could be because indeed you are choosing food which are palatable, too high in calorie, creating a spike of all these things. It could be because you are highly stressed and therefore the cortisol regulates your blood sugar too high, even though you're not eating. So this is kind of like the problem. We want to find a solution for the craving, right? When we know it's something physiological, the solution is fairly simple. And when we look at all these things, it's really being able to medicate with right things, the all this kind of like emotion, right? If you do a diet and try to find some space here, as you see on the bottom here, let me see. Oh my God, that's so difficult. So on the side, you'll see you can be starving, you can be hungry, you can be satisfied, right? And then on the other one, you can be full and you can be stuffed. This is the level of hunger, meaning like you should always be in a situation that you're kind of okay, not full, not starving, right? On the same way, if you do that with so many things like vegetable and fruit and boring food, steak with no seasoning or whatever, you can technically do that. But you also see that zero from the eight on top, which is basically the taste level. We always eat for taste as well as survival, right? So maybe it occurs to you in the past that you try to, um, let's say you have a taste for chips, right? And then you say, I'm gonna try not to eat them. I'm gonna eat vegetable. I'm gonna eat. You're basically eating everything else. At the end of it, you still want, right? For sometimes all that thing about eating all these salads, broth soup, shakes, it will take away that will to eat the chips. But sometimes it doesn't because like you eat for palatability, right? So how can we fix the problem? Well, simple, right? Eat low calorie dense, high volume food that tastes well, at least a 6 degree level on 6 on 10. And they want to keep you hungry, right? So you want to keep you full, right? And that means like, stuff like pancakes, pressed pale, the thing that you see chocolatey on top of that is not some random chocolate. It's something that is called PB2. It's peanut powder, which removes 80% of the fat, which also removes 80% of the calories. On the bottom side, when you see the rice here, everybody say carbohydrates are bad. Well, too much rice is bad. Well, if you eat too much rice with even some pesto inside, yeah, probably 300 grams of rice is not a good idea. If you eat, if you take a portion of protein, couple of portion of a vegetable, it could be like there, mushrooms, it could be zucchini, whatever, and then you put 50 to 80 grams of carb in there, which could be pasta or rice, that's amazingly tasty, but it's also going to take away the the problem of feeling full because sometimes when you pair protein with vegetable, with some olive oil, and then with carbs, it's not only gonna the fiber not only creates a fullness, but it's also balancing better the blood sugar so the hunger level stay the same, right? So you have to be like in the start up there, right? Up there, yeah. You have to be always on that specific thing. Tasty, but also to keep you full, right? Something tasty, an ice cream, it doesn't keep you full because it's full of calories. And it's full of fat, full of sugar. Something that it keeps you full, like if you get a full bowl of watermelon, it keeps you full, but it's boring. And after a while, you want to break the diet, right? The last thing I want to show you is going to be one of my favorites. To understand that there is no good and bad food, on top you see how so many pizza can get up to 3,000 calories. The one that you see on the bottom here on the side, which is basically, trying to move my hair, is actually the opposite. This is one way. So you want to get the cooked pizza that tastes similar or good or better than pizza in such a way that it's not. So you take behind here, you take a square of toast, you put mozzarella or light mozzarella, you put some anything that you like on top of it, right? With some vegetable, with some oregano, and obviously the bottom you can put tomato sauce. There is no bad food. The one that you see behind me is 500 calories. The one that you see on top is 2,000. Guess how you actually are full, tasty food, and also you don't have cravings anymore, and still gonna achieve your goals? Well, something that's gonna be healthier but lower in calories. Okay? So hopefully this helps you. And if you want more specific advice, I have a full free guide on cravings, and all you have to comment is cravings down below. I'm gonna send you over that guide and I'm gonna talk to you soon.